Hey, what's up guys? Chef Pete here with his accented palate. Today's episode will be all about strawberries. March is strawberry season here in sunny Florida where I live. And Florida being the second largest producer in the country, you can find some really good ones pretty much anywhere here. So today we will make a very simple dessert to really showcase them. But first let's start with a cocktail. You don't want to get thirsty while you're cooking and you have nothing to reach for, right? And it has strawberries too. Strawberry Daiquiri is one of my favorite cocktails featuring strawberries. Instead of using fresh strawberries though, I use frozen ones in this one since it already kind of act like an ice cube from the get-go. To make our strawberry galette, we're going to use the food processor. We're going to start with 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of buckwheat flour. I really like the flavor what it gives to this dessert, but if you want you can just use all-purpose flour completely. Add 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to give this a whirl in a food processor just to incorporate it, and then we're going to add 1 stick of butter, which is 8 tablespoons, and basically create a course meal out of it. Once it forms a coarse meal, we add 1/4 cup of ice water and incorporate it until it starts basically becoming a crumbly mixture. You don't want to bring it together completely into a dough bowl, just kind of like a coarse mixture again. Then turn out that to a well-floured board. Make sure you get all the little pieces out of the food processor. And then just flatten it down to a disc. Cover it with plastic wrap and put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour to rest. While our dough is resting in the refrigerator, we move on to our main attraction, strawberries. I have about 1.5 pounds of beautifully ripe, fresh strawberries I picked up from my farmer's market. I will remove the tops, the green tops with a little paring knife and cut out the little white core center underneath the top. This way you just end up with a nice sweet part of the strawberry. As you can see, I'm working with 2 bowls, so 1 for the tops and 1 for the... oh, no, sometimes I just mess up and put it in the wrong bowl, but that's fine, you know. And after this, we're gonna cut the strawberries into slices, you know. You can quarter them if you want. I prefer slices. I think it cooks better in the oven. Now let's get back to our dough. We're going to roll the dough disc out into a circle or oval, whichever you prefer. That's the beautiful thing in galettes. It doesn't have to be perfect. Probably about 1/4 inch in thickness. Keep using flour as it sticks, and probably the best $5 investment any baker can have is a bench scraper. We're gonna use a rimmed baking sheet lined with parchment paper to put the dough on. It's important to have a rimmed baking sheet because galettes are notorious for running all over the oven if you don't use a baking sheet that can actually hold those juices in. Now back to our strawberries. We're gonna add 1/3 cup of sugar and 4 tablespoons of cornstarch to the strawberries in a large bowl and mix them well. Oh, as you can see, Jacques Pepin was always right when he said that doesn't matter how large of a bowl you start with, it's always going to be too small by the end. Add your strawberries to the dough, leaving about 1 inch from the edges, and make sure you get all the sugar out of the bowl. And then fold the edges of the dough up towards the strawberries, kind of creating little creases as you go. Make sure it's nice and tight so the juice is gonna stay in. It's still gonna run out, but at least you tried. And add an egg wash top and just sprinkle it with a little bit of sugar, on the edges and on the top of the strawberries too. Now we're gonna put it into a 375-degree oven for 45 to 50 minutes. And there you have it, folks. Strawberry galette. Simple, easy, delicious. Cut yourself a nice big slice Maybe dress it with a little bit of whipped cream or ice cream. Add a piece of mint to be fancy. And it's chump time. Enjoy! If you like this recipe, subscribe to my channel, The Accented Palate with Chef Pete.